Hello and welcome back for another midweek Magic event. This week's event is Rites of Flourishing Brawl. You bring a 100 card singleton brawl deck, and on each of your turns you can play an additional land. Plus, during your draw step, you also get to draw an additional card, so you can expect decks to be ramping out things faster than normal, and they also are going to have potentially more interaction than they normally would have as well. Due to the mechanics, we've decided to go with Tifa Lockhart as our commander. Tifa's a 2-mana 1/2 with Trample and has landfall, stating whenever a land we control enters, we get to double her power until end of turn. Very synergistic with the Rites ability of having an additional landfall each turn naturally. When it comes to the deck, the first column here is all cards that gain additional effects from landfall as supporting cast. A lot of these either grow in size or create additional bodies with each landfall trigger. Then the second column are all ways that we can pump up Tifa's power. Looking to use these before using her land drops for turn. That way she gets stronger before the doubling effect. Then the third column here are all ways that we can essentially make additional landfalls, potentially even winning on turn 2. A couple utility cards that were thrown in the deck were a copy of Winding Way and Mulch, just to make sure that we have lands in hand. Since our deck is pretty good at putting them into the battlefield, we want to make sure that we don't run out of gas. And then a single copy of Worldly Tutor that we can use to tutor up a creature card. And then for the mana base, we're playing some additional lands as well. We want to make sure that we're able to hit our land drops with this deck, and we don't mind having them in hand naturally. We're not really running many utility lands. We just have a lot of fetch lands that let us essentially play additional landfalls each turn as well. And we wanted to make sure that all of our lands come into play untapped. That way, we're always able to play Tifa on curve and additionally follow up with our interactive spells on turn 2. This deck is looking to be quite aggressive, and I think it's going to do pretty well today. Before we jump into the gameplay, I'd like to ask you to please like and subscribe the video. It really helps the channel. And without further ado, let's jump into the games. This hand is fine. We're up against Leonardo, so they're going to be on a weenie creature deck. We'll keep double planes and the life grid duo. We'll play out our Tifa, pass the turn. Essence Channeler will grow with the life gain. And our opponent's out of lands here. So how do we want to do this? We can grow Tifa first with the Primal Might. Let's see, to fight, we want to have at least 4 toughness. Means we need to play out a land first. Take out the Channeler. Drop another land, hit for 8. Opponent attacks in with the duo. They might have some removal here. What order do we want to do things in? Probably start with the Ascension. Then we will play out a Forest. And we can play out another Forest. Play out Loot. Play out the Dust Bolt. Put the counter on Tifa, and this is lethal. Good game. We're on the play here. Up against Bonnie Powell. I think this should be a favorable matchup for us. They're already on a couple mulligans. Play out Tifa, pass the turn. Unfortunately, don't really have anything fantastic to do with our mana here. We'll play out a couple lands, try and hit for 4. And then we'll just play out the Ice Till. I think the worst our opponent can do here, bounce our Tifa. And we'll hold on to our Forests for next turn. Mistrise Village. Tap land and a Rampant Growth. Should be in pretty good shape. Would have loved to get a fetch land, so here we're going to hold full control, see if our opponent has any response. Didn't seem like it. And I don't think that we necessarily need to use Wild Shape. Although it doesn't seem like our opponent has anything. So let's go ahead and try for the kill here. Don't think it really matters what we target. We'll go for the untapped land. And that's enough for the win. Good game. In the Tifa mirror match, we're on the play, so we have an advantage here. Play out 2 Forests and our Tifa. Opponent does the same. Pretty good cards here. Sets us up for next turn very well. Hit for 4, pass the turn. Without doing the math, I'm pretty sure we can present lethal next turn if our opponent doesn't destroy one of our creatures here. They play out a couple lands. They could also kill us here. Tifa's going to go up to 8, and then if they have our tutor effect, it should be enough damage to deal lethal. Keep Shift will do it. Good game. See how powerful Tifa gets here. Oh, we're not going to sit through all these triggers. Our opponent is being greedy. Up against Samut. They're going to be on an aggressive deck. What do we think about this hand? Does have potential. We'll keep. Play out a couple lands and Tifa. And our opponent doesn't even want to play with us. Up against Cranko. Opponent is on the play. We can keep this hand. Opponent leads off on a Disciple. We'll just play out Tifa, pass the turn. Looks like they may not have the second land here to play out Cranko. Do they have a removal spell? Four power back on defense. They attack in. Probably a mistake. They don't realize that we're the aggressive deck here. So let's see, if we use Wild Shape, Tifa will be a 3/3. Then we can double her power 3 times. Takes her up to 24. defense as well. Play out a forest. Chocobo. Misty. Attack in. Tifa's going to be 40 powered here, so this is more than enough. No block from our opponent. We'll fetch up a forest. Good game. Alright, so there you have the deck, and Tifa actually went 5 for 5 in those matches technically, as the only loss was to a mirror match. This midweek Magic event feels like it was specifically tailored for Tifa, being able to play her out on turn 1, and then you can present a lethal attack on turn 2 already. It means that she can just present a tremendously fast clock, and you can really pump through these games quickly. Even if your opponent's able to remove your commander with double landfall, you're also able to play her back out easily and continue the onslaught. There's a lot of Brawl decks, but it's hard to imagine that any of them are going to be better than this one against a majority of the pool. And honestly, I don't think it really even matters so much as to what else you put in the deck, as long as you have a couple pump spells and ways to tutor for lands, as Tifa can solo by herself. So the supporting casts like the Scoot Swarm and Chocobo and so forth really are just there as extras. As always, I'd like to thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more content.